What is up, everybody? This is Brandon from ComixKings. As always, welcome back to the kingdom, or welcome if this is your first time. For a lot of you guys, this is your first time, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment below, because we're going to be talking about books this week that I've read, okay? I'm going to be sharing the books that I read, kind of reviewing them, recapping. So let me know what you guys thought of this video, what your favorite book this week was. You know, I'd love to talk comics with you guys, love the interaction. So thank you guys so much for everything, taking time out of your day to watch this video. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Let's actually talk about the first book I read this week, which was The Immortal Hulk Flatline by Duggan. He drew, wrote, and he did everything in this book. So this is like a love letter to the Hulk, both as Bruce Banner and as, well, the Immortal Hulk. This is playing off the gamma radiation mythos, kind of like the connection that brings to people of that nature, okay? So this old lady, Noreen, she's kind of mentoring the Hulk in a way that, like, he's not going to realize it till after. And she's both mentoring him as Bruce Banner, as a human, and as the Hulk, kind of getting him more in touch with his gamma side. Okay, so he realized it when she's, like, in the hospital about to pass away. So this was a great love letter, great payoff to this series that has been going on. I know a lot of you guys who have been reading The Immortal Hulk are totally on board. This is probably the most different Hulk story we've had, mostly because a lot of the Hulk stories have been so Avenger type before Immortal Hulk. This is more like, this is the Hulk universe. This is the gamma radiation mythos. So Duggan does a great job drawing everything. The panels are great. You can just look at a panel right there. And this is a great book, so definitely check that out. If you have not already, it's a one-shot. You know, it's good size, right? It's a great read. And for a lot of you guys enjoying Immortal Hulk, this is just another book for you to have, okay? And if you guys are not reading Immortal Hulk, this book is definitely something that can get you into it as well, because it doesn't really tie into much of the continuity in the actual story. So if you were thinking about, hey, I'm not reading this story, but I might want to check it out, this is it for you. This is the book to check out. Next book I kind of want to talk about is Guardians of the Galaxy. This is number 11 by Al Ewing, actually the writer of Immortal Hulk. And then we got Juan Cabal on art. And I'm telling you guys right now, you guys are sleeping on Juan Cabal's art. Everybody's sleeping on his art, right? You hear like Patrick Gleason being the buzz. You got R.B. Silva, Pepe Larraz, all these young artists who are getting so much buzz. Juan Cabal is right up there in talent. Juan Cabal is amazing. His panels are great. Everything in this book is phenomenal. The colors are great. The story is great. So what's been going on in this book is Peter went off on a mission that Gamora didn't want him to originally, and he died. But now he's back, right? And he kind of has this new power. So Gamora's obviously going to give him a lot of shit when she meets up with him. And then this is also being told in the perspective of Richard Rider for the most part, because the dark gods are coming, like the dark, like Olympus gods, dark Olympians, they're coming. And these were the people that knocked out much of the Nova Corps. So Richard Rider, he knows that he barely survived the first time. So this is like kind of reminiscing, kind of grieving about everything that happened. So the team is coming together, resolving their issues, and just to get ready for this big battle. So you're getting a lot of character moments, and that is my favorite part in this next to the art. It's just the character moments that we're getting, these interactions, right, that we just have not seen before in Donny Cage's Guardians, in the previous Guardians run. I forget who did it. I forget who did it. But, we haven't seen much of that in this run, right? Because it's mainly been focused on Rocket and Peter for the most part. But we're getting a lot of moments with Gamora, with Moondragon. So this is great. Definitely a book that you guys should be checking out. I know Al Ewing has been putting out a lot of work with Immortal Hulk, not Immortal Iron Fist, but definitely a book to add to your pull list. Next issue is going to be the end of that arc, so definitely try to pick it up issue 13, or it's 11 issues. Go get them! It's a lot of fun. It's a great story. Third book I read, I wasn't a big fan of this book. I liked it, I just didn't love it. Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon by Larry Hama and Dave Wachter. The art's not the best. It's not great. Here's the thing about this book that is, as a reader, right? As readers, we have a stack of books, right? Let's say we have 10 books. There are easily 3 books in that pile we're, like, excited to read the first time. It's like, yes, yes, yes. But then there are books that are just in that pile. This book, to me, is just in that pile. It's very it's solid. it doesn't blow me away. It doesn't make me, like, after I'm reading, like, this is great. It's not a book I would recommend. There are much better Iron Fist books out there that you could find. This is just giving you more dynamics between him and Luke Cage, and they're also bringing a big bad from Shang-Chi in this story. But it's six issue miniseries, so I'm not I was like, okay, if you're telling a 6-issue story, right, the pacing should be phenomenal, right? And you're telling the story that you want. This is like your story. It's a miniseries. It's your story. It's not an ongoing that has to tie into continuity. This is like, here you go. This is what I have to say about this character. This is what Larry Hama has to say about Iron Fist, and it's not for me. You know, the art style is not the greatest, in my opinion. I know a lot of people like it, but to me, it's just very much in that bulk of books that gets lost. You know, it's solid. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. It's just nothing blowing me away. It's nothing that's saying, oh my gosh, you have to read this Iron Fist book. No. You can buy it in trade or watch a review on it and still understand what's going on. It's here it is. We don't get it very often, so I was hoping for something better, but I'm not blown away by it. It's not something that I will be picking up. I'm not going to be like, I have to complete this series. No, I'll probably just read it in trade. It's just not the best. There have been better Iron Fist runs. There have been Iron Fist stories, better Iron Fist character studies. It's just is not it for me. And then let's talk about Savage Avengers number 18 by Jerry Duggan and Kev Walker. Yes, as you can see on the cover, you got Conan and Deadpool. So basically what has been going on is, this is like Jerry Duggan's favorite kind, and art's by Kev Walker, who I'm not a fan of, but we're going to get to that. So, Jerry Duggan obviously raised Savage Avengers. He's written Deadpool. He's probably had the best Deadpool run we've had, ever. Like, as Deadpool as a character, right? And his character growth. And then he's also writing Marauders. It's like all three in one at the Hellfire Club. And we're getting Conan, who just got the symbiote sword and all that stuff. So they're Savage Avengers are still on their hunt for Cullen Goth, and they meet up with the Marauders, right? Doesn't go well. They don't get along. They're not friends. And Deadpool is just there. Deadpool's there. So it's a lot of fun. The art style, Kev Walker has never been a fan of mine. It's like whenever you want to ruin a book, just throw Kev Walker on art. Did that with Amazing Spider-Man, did that with Doctor Strange, and now you're doing it here. And I'm just not... To me, Kev Walker's art style is very sloppy. I know a lot of people like him. It's just... There are panels that are good. Like, there are panels in this issue that I actually like, okay, they're great. But for the most part, the art is not what's keeping me in this book, much less Jerry Duggan's writing, because I've been following this book from Jump, from issue 1. It's just a great story, right? You have, like, all the Avengers in there. Not just Avengers. You have, like, Conan. You got Wolverine, Punisher, Electric, Doctor Strange. Brother Voodoo was in there for a little bit, right? All these, like, magic-based characters, some of, like, these more gritty characters in the Marvel Universe coming together. So that's what I really like about this book. And plus, it's Conan. It's Conan! I love saying that. Conan! Okay, let's move on to Thor number 12. Hot book, hot series by Donny Cates, Nick Klein, Matt Wilson colors. So obviously this book is going to be great. So what's going on in this issue? Obviously we're going to have a lot of trouble. Donald Blake kind of terrorizing Earth because he has been, well, trapped for so long and he's out and he's like kind of realizing what the world is like and who has basically screwed him over. Odin. Throg comes down from the Sanctum Sanctorum. He's like, tells Jane, okay, run. Why? Because Lockjaw is falling out of the building too. So obviously you get crushed by, how many pounds is that dog? Love Lockjaw, but he's like if Vince Wilfork was tackling me. You know that football player Vince Wilfork? It's like if he was running over me. It's like, yeah, obviously I'd get out of the way too, right? So anyway, they're kind of hashing that out, and Jane Foster's like not trying to deal with this situation anymore. So this kind of calls back to Donny Cates' Doctor Strange run, briefly. But at the end of the day, Jane goes to find Odin, and she's like, you got to get your shit together, because this is going on too long, you know? Thor's off doing his own thing. Throg is, it's Throg. But still, he attacked the Sanctum Sanctorum, so we gotta deal with this. You have to deal with this, because this is your, wrongdoing. This is your mess. You have to go clean it up. And she is just pissed, right? So this book is great. You know, a lot of people who have wanted that payoff for Donald Blake for so long, you're kind of finally getting it, you know? And And obviously Jane Foster being the Valkyrie after War of the Realms. That series ended up getting canceled after, 6 issues due to COVID. And that was a book that they were just moving digitally. And it's like, okay, where's our Jane Foster going to be? And it's here. It's a Return of the Valkyries. And I love it. I love it. All right. Last but not... Okay, actually, we got a few more books. We have a few X-Men books. And then we have my pick of the week. So we have Marauders number 18, another Jerry Duggan book by Caselli. What is the first name? It is... Yeah, by Caselli. So what has been going on is the Verendi, that group, Hominis Verendi, them and the Marauders have kind of been battling for, the heart of Madripoor. Okay, so it's, kind of playing Monopoly in Madripoor, getting different territories through money, through different backings, right? Trying to, use that as their base to kick off the rest of their endeavors. So Emma Frost gets a hospital called the Moira Foundation, or the Moira Hospital. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a Moira McTaggart Memorial, which is a hospital, okay? And then the rest of the Marauders, you got Pyro, Iceman, Bishop, they're buying a bar, okay? And then the Verendi, they send some of the Reavers, who are basically prospects that they've had or allies that they've had that have fought the Marauders before, and they've just given them abilities, right, through technology. And so they're back, and now they have kind of a vengeance because they got their asses kicked a few times. So that's where we are with that. And it was a setup, okay? They were going to buy the bar just to get set up and look like they were the ones attacking Madripoor. So obviously they had to pull out, and that's where the issue ended. Is, well, they're framed, they know that, they're getting out of Madripoor. All right, solid issue. Marauders has been a lot of fun. I think character-wise, Jerry Duggan really understands the interactions between all the characters on his list and how to progress his story forward. So Marauders has been really exciting. It's been very dramatic, Each of these X titles has a different feeling to them. So this is more this is your drama, your kind of comedy is not really comedy, but it's more this is your where you're getting a lot of your character interactions. This is your heavy dialogue, move these characters forward. All right, which is cool too. And then other 2 more X books I want to talk about. Let's actually get to that one in a bit. But we're going to talk about Cable number 8. This is Jerry Duggan. Wow, I had 3 Jerry Duggan books right now. Wow. And Phil Noto's amazing. If you know his Star Wars, his Daredevil, everything he's worked on, you understand that he is a very talented artist. And Jerry Duggan, obviously, is a very talented writer, writing all these books at the top of his level. So let's just dive right into it. So Cable and Domino are going on an adventure. As you know, Cable and Domino, right, were friends back in the days of the X-Force, right? Because thank you, Rob Liefeld, for creating these 2 characters. Except Cable's a lot older, okay? So there's a kid Cable hanging out with Domino, so it's kind of awkward, right? And just these 2 characters together is everything to me, because you're getting both of them just being unapologetically themselves, just because of their history, okay? Cable is chasing a clone version of himself who's actually captured a few children, so Domino's helping him track him down, but, she's just very hungry. She is very hungry when they arrive in Korea. So, obviously Cable gets there, and there are a bunch more versions of himself, and Domino just comes in last second to shoot them all. Cable says, how did you know that those were fake? She's like, I really didn't. Which was, I love it. So the issue ends, right, with Cable okay, so the real version of Cable, not the real version, the clone version of Cable got knocked out by something flying, okay? Cable knows who that is. It's a older version of himself. Okay, it's an older version of himself. So we see this older version of himself kind of going back to where he's supposed to be, and now that we're just gonna get introduced to that. So we're still playing off the time travel sense of Cable, so it's a lot of fun. This book has been nothing but great. It has been kind of funny. It's been really cool. Just see a different take on the Cable character, especially being a little bit younger. All right, now let's move on to X-Men Legends. Yeah, I got the Patrick Gleason variant. I also got the John Christopher Tyler variant, the toy variant of Cyclops. But this is by Fabian Nicieza and Brett Booth, okay? So those of you who are huge fans of X-Men 17 and that art style of Brett Booth, this is for you. These are 2 creators that wrote and drew in the 90s. So if you're a 90s fan, I believe pre-X-Men 37 or pre-X-Men 38, 39, right? This is like right before that time in the continuity. All right. So this story is basically playing off the Summers family again. So yeah, this guy Adam, right? He's running away from the Starjammers, from the Shi'ar Empire, and Cyclops and Havoc, they want to get him because he knows something about their grandmother, okay, who is kind of not doing well. So they're chasing him down, they're helping him out, and then once they get to him, right, Corsair shows up, and they're like, what are you doing? He's gonna have our answers. And she's like, and not she, he's like, yeah, I know about this a little bit more than you guys. He's your brother, right? So we figure out that Adam is their brother, and so now we have like the Summers triplets, I guess, and Corsair, they're gonna go figure out what happened to their mother, okay, or what's going on with their mother. The art is great. The art style is great. It's something that a lot of 90s X-Men fans is like playing off that nostalgia. Obviously, I was not around in that time, but I did read it, so I can relate to it a lot. And it's just more with the Summers family, you know, that's never gets old. Okay. I love Havoc. I love Havoc a lot. Scott is not necessarily my favorite person. You know, Havoc is telling a lot of times trying to keep his emotions in check and all that. So Havoc is actually the more logical person in this story, as he should be. I'm not a big Scott Summers fan. I liked him in this. I mostly liked Havoc. Havoc is just a man. This is a cool read. The next issue is going to be by Fabian Nicieza and Brett Booth, and then it's going to turn over to the Simonsons, who also wrote X Factor during this time, or a little bit before. Late 80s, I believe, X Factor. I believe they left X Factor in the late 80s. Yes. But anyway, kind of around that time period, they were there for that time period, so obviously they're going to have a lot of fun with their story as well. Last book, this is my pick of the week. King in Black, number 4, Donny Cates Ryan segment. A lot of you guys probably saw that coming. It is my pick of the week. This event has been great, you know, and the last issue left off with Silver Surfer Black coming in. As you guys know, that's like Donny Cates' guy. Donny Cates loves gods, okay? And this book is all about playing off gods, how to kill a god, how to hurt a god. So, obviously, so what's been going on, Noel and Dylan are kind of trapped together. Dylan is trying to break free from Noel, but there's a voice now inside his head who's like kind of coaching him to release some of the other people that have been nullified, right? Human Torch, Cyclops, Invisible Woman, Thor, right? People that his character knows will want, you know, Doctor Strange as well, Storm too. And that character is Jean Grey. So when we get to that page, right, of Jean just revealing herself, right, it's so good, you know. She's coaching Dylan out of this. Dylan breaks free, you know, and now Jean can read Noel's mind and figure out how to make him bleed, you know, how to hurt him. But then she realizes, no, we need light. We need light. We can't make him bleed. He is the god of the abyss, which is consumed in the darkness. He's not the darkness. He's consumed in it. There's always light at the end of every abyss, right? Which I think is really cool how Donny Cates is able to play that. It's like he's building up all this darkness, but no, there's light in it. There's something that we can do, okay? So obviously Jean shares that with Silver Surfer Black, who arrives on the scene of that lightness. It's actually Captain Universe, okay? If you're watching a lot of other people kind of spec Micronauts number 8, Captain Universe is going to have a big role. No, not necessarily. It's just the power of Captain Universe is going to be playing a big role because Silver Surfer Black is able to extract that, right? And then give that light to Eddie. And this is how Eddie Brock is going to come out of everything. This is the Enigma Force, okay? Now being put into Eddie. So Silver Surfer Black's able to get it, transfer it to Reed, who's able to then give it to Eddie and kind of wake him up. Okay, so that's where we left off. And this was such a cool book. This is such a cool story. You know, it's bringing together all the Marvel universe. So, like, the X-Men have kind of been separated since Krakoa. You know, Hickman has been doing his own thing. And this is Donny Cates bringing together the Fantastic Four, the cosmic universe that he has worked so hard in with Death and Humans, Guardians of the Galaxy. And he's done and his Doctor Strange kind of got a little payoff in Thor. You know, he's using his Thor run. He's using a lot of obviously stuff from his Venom run, and he's using a lot of stuff from the X-Men. So Donny Cates is a very, very, very working knowledge of the Marvel Universe and exactly how these pieces can fit in. So, and then Ryan Stegman, who can just draw anything you tell him to. His art is beautiful. It's fantastic. If you are looking into reading this book, let me know. I can hit you up with a short reading list that can bring you back into reading this book, because obviously there's a lot to read. Donny Cates has done a lot of work. He's been Marvel's kind of yes man in everything. But if you want a shorter reading list and how to kind of get involved into this event, really, I can narrow it down to about 16 issues and then the event for you. But let me know, and I can do that for you guys. And then that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys saw of this video. Let me know what books you enjoyed the most, what you liked, what you didn't like. Thank you guys so much for taking 2 minutes out of your day to watch this video. Check out my thoughts on some of the books that came out this week. And stay tuned for more content coming up. Thank you guys so much for everything. This is Brandon, part of the ComixKings. Take care, everybody. Make sure you're staying safe.